Welcome to Viben Gold, a collection of guided meditations put into podcast form for your easy listening. My name is Vivian Gerard, and I will be walking with you through the intoxicating now moments of life here on this planet. These audios are intended to be used as a full meditation if you want to close your eyes, settle down into a comfy spot, and let your subconscious come all the way forward. Or it can simply be some background conversation where the nuggets of information that you most need will make their way into your awareness. Whichever way it works for you, I invite you to open up and enjoy fully this journey of life that we are all taking together. So much love to you. Good morning and welcome to Soulshine. It is Sunday, October 16th, and we are on the other side of an absolutely beautiful super full moon that lit up the sky last night. It was so gorgeous. I'm not sure if you were able to see it the same way that we were, but it was amazing. It literally looked like it was painted in the sky. It was so beautiful. So yes, lots to look at today. Let's go ahead and start. Let yourself settle in wherever you are sitting in this moment or laying down. And then start to notice your breathing. Yeah, and then see how it feels to just flow with your breath. You know, so often, I'll use my example. I like to run, and when I do my run and I'm flowing with my breath, it's easy. I feel like I could run forever. But when I'm not paying attention or forcing or trying to control it or, it gets jagged, it gets harsh, and then I end up with a cramp in my side because my breathing isn't just flowing easily. So notice in this moment how your breath is feeling to you. Yeah, and it may take a minute to tune in to your breath. If you've already been busy this morning or you're just getting going and you've got a full day ahead of you, pulling your attention to here, to just being here in this moment, can sometimes take a little bit. It's like getting over that hump, right, of actually relaxing into being fully here. So allow your breath to guide you in. It's like when you're stretching your muscles before you're going to do a big exercise, or when you're going deeper into a yoga pose. There's a way that the instructor will say, breathe into the pose. Right? Breathe into it. Allow your breath to guide you deeper in. There you go. Yeah, sometimes when we hear the word illumination or truth, or we know we're on the other side of something that opened up a lot of emotions, there can be a little resistance to coming into that quiet space with ourselves. You know, it's like, I know I want to look at that, but do I really want to look at that? I know that there's truth here, but do I really want truth? You know, is it really going to feel good to me? So we're going to be gentle today. We're going to go easy. We will go easy, but allow your body and your breath to come into a beautiful synchronization. Yeah. And then allow your body to relax as you feel your breath moving through you. So let your shoulders drop. Let yourself relax further into the chair if you're sitting in a chair. If you're laying down on the floor, imagine your muscles can just start to unwind. Almost like you're just dissolving some of the rigidness, the rigidity of the bones and the muscles and the tendons and everything that's trying to keep it all together, hold it all in place. Allow it to just start melting, relaxing. Notice any places in your body that are still holding tension. So you might feel, for example, if you're laying down, you might see that your feet are pointed straight up and your toes are pointing straight to the sky. See if you could just breathe some relaxation all the way down to your feet and let the muscles start to relax so your feet just drop to the side. Check your hands. Are you gripping or are your hands just softly resting? There you go. And then same with your arms, your legs. Can you breathe some relaxation right into every muscle, every cell? Yeah, it already feels better. Good work. And then bring your attention to the core of your body. So our stomach area, I use the word belly and my daughter hates it, but stomach, belly, it's all the same. If you notice, that's the place where we digest new ideas. We bring in new information into this huge, beautiful solar plexus, this third chakra that takes up the center of our body. We bring these new ideas in, or we gently, carefully unravel some hidden old ideas that we hide in those, hidden places inside. And when all of that starts to get stirred up, there's a way that our muscles can clench and try to protect. Some of us put weight on, and so we have extra weight around our stomach to hide, to guard, to keep safe the energy that's feeling vulnerable inside. In this moment, you might notice that your muscles are locked a little bit. In yoga, there's a position called the root lock, where you breathe in after a series of exercises, and then you hold it, you grip. You keep the energy inside of you. And it goes from your bottom all the way up through the stomach area and through the front, everywhere. It's like that whole bottom half of your body does this thing called a root lock. If you can imagine in this moment doing the opposite, what if you could do a root melt? A root breath, right, where you just sigh, a root sigh, where you just relax every muscle from the stomach all the way down, every organ. And you're just breathing into all of those spaces and allowing energy to start to move and circulate and flow in a different ease, a different level of ease. Yeah, and you might find that you can do that and then you want to tense again. That's okay. Just notice, just bring your awareness to what's happening energetically and physically throughout your body. And then notice it's always just a choice. You just allow, you choose that you can relax, and so your body follows the cues that your mind and your energy are sending. Good, and then just one more area, actually a couple more. Go ahead and bring your attention to the upper half of your chest, so your shoulders, your rib cage, your heart space, maybe even the neck, right where the neck supports the head at the base of the neck and shoulders. Bring your attention there to notice, am I completely relaxed? If you are, great. See if you can relax even a little more. If you feel tension in any of those spaces, see if you can breathe into the tension and perhaps allow it to talk to you or teach you. So maybe there's a word that you'll sense or feel or see. Maybe there's a person, their name or their image will suddenly pop into your awareness right now. And then explore why. Why is that connection showing up as I bring my attention to this half of my body? Not half, this quarter of my body. Is it because there's resistance to supporting them? Am I feeling it's heavy or I need to do more? Is there truth that needs to be spoken with that person? Or love? Is there love that needs to be offered? Is there love that needs to be received? Yeah, so when we allow our bodies and our energy systems to come into alignment, sometimes there are these little pockets of energy that go, pay attention. There's a great meditation article that I shared on Facebook yesterday by this man named Tom Cronin, and he described the process of meditation so beautifully. It's one of the best descriptions I've ever seen. And he said when we fight the thoughts that are hidden under the surface and we're trying to get our mind to just be quiet, and we're telling the mind, just be still, don't do anything, don't think, don't do anything. Those places that had been repressed while we're consciously, working and doing things, they don't have a way to bubble up. Meditation, in his opinion, and also in mine, is meant to provide a space where those thoughts can bubble up and be felt and then be moved. Where those relationships that are stuck or feeling troubled or needing attention, and we don't have time in our busy days, those relationships can come forward in meditation so that you can be guided in what most serves. So as you go into this beautiful merging of body, mind, and spirit right now, trust that those things that are popping up in your attention are the most important things for you to be looking at today, tomorrow, this week. That's why they're coming forward first. So they're not wrong for coming forward, and you're not weak for not being able to follow some process to do something. It's your energy, your subconscious saying, pay attention. Pay attention, spend time on these things. If it was your body that was contracting and you could feel like a certain area of your body is tight or the muscle is hurting or you can't breathe into that area or it won't relax, pay attention to that area and then look it up in the Louise Hay book later and see what is the block there trying to show me in my life. If the energy isn't flowing easily through your body, then it's because there's something that got stuck. So you take the time after the meditation and you go and you explore and you read and you look and you're like, oh, okay, great, I can shift that, right? I can move that. And then you have a way to move forward that is so guided by your soul. I know I'm oversimplifying this, but it feels relevant for today, so I'll go with it. All right, so feel in the chest, shoulders, neck, rib cage area. Anything else to pay attention to? And then just slow your breathing down. And trust, because you felt it or allowed space for anything to pop up as we started this, you'll remember that at the end of this call, and you'll be able to follow and pursue whatever it is that you wanted to look at. So you don't need to hang on to it for the rest of this time. Trust that your body and your mind have given you the cues, and you'll be able to remember it later. All right, so let's breathe out anything that just came up. Going to do it again. So long, slow exhale, and you're going to drop into your body while you do that, and breathe out the things that you're going to look at later. Good, and notice as you do that, when you come in deeper, it starts to get quieter. When you've created space for those energy bubbles under the surface to come to your awareness, they can move out and you can get quieter. So sometimes this process might take you a minute or two. Sometimes it might take you 20. Sometimes it might take you the whole hour. That's okay. That's okay. The more consistently you do it, the easier it'll be, the faster you'll get it, just moving through the bubbles and then dropping into a quiet space. Good. All right, let's start pulling our attention back into our physical body. So all of the places you have been in the last week or couple weeks, if you've been traveling, you might have to stretch your energy all the way out to the other side of the coast, the other side of the world, and pull yourself back in. If you're preparing to travel or preparing for a big shift in your life, you know, this new moon illuminates so much that, this full moon illuminates so much that it may have shown you something you're headed to next that's really big. So if your energy is far out in front of you or hanging on to the past far behind you, imagine you can just gently start tugging and pulling all of your attention back to here and now. This moment right here, this body, this sweet hour for you to just be still, feel what's happening in your life, pause and go in. Good. And as you pull your attention in, it might start to feel tight inside your chest. Go ahead and use breath and then send your energy all the way down to your feet. Distribute it through your body. And then all the way out your arms down to your fingertips. Even if you don't quite know what the words mean as I'm saying them, trust the way it feels when energy flows through your body. And know that the energy is following the guidance. Even if your mind is like, what does that mean? What is she even saying? It's okay. Your energy will understand the guidance, the cues, and will go in the direction that serves you the most. So you should feel a little lighter in your chest area. Imagine you can now pull back even more of your energy. So all of the relationships that you track and monitor, the people you care about, the people you can't stand, the people you want to make sure aren't going to hurt you, the people that owe you things, that you owe things to, like whatever, all these relationships in our lives. Imagine you can unwind or, I want to use the word wiggle your way out of those relationships energetically. Just for this call. You can pick every one of them back up when we're done. But for right now, imagine you just allow all of your energy to gracefully and easily come all the way back into your physical body so that you can feel the beautiful power of being fully present. You can feel the fullness of your soul, the strength of who you are. Fully here in this moment, present for yourself. If this feels intense, again, use breath. Distribute the energy down your legs, out your arms. Let all your muscles start to relax again. It's just you. All you're calling back is you. It reminds me of when you see a little baby and they're maybe 4 or 5 months old and they're starting to discover all the parts, you know, they've got their toes in the air and their fingers and their toes are like just feeling each other out and pushing and pulling and, you know, they just do the craziest things. It's like they're discovering the physical and falling in love with their own bodies and they're laughing and giggling and they're so happy. I feel that same sense of like exploration in this moment. We forget what it feels like when all of our energy is present in the physical body. Again, relax your body, relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. Just take a moment and feel like, what's it like? You might feel a little lightheaded or like dizzy in your head. To me, it looks sort of a bright yellow, like there's so much power or energy in your physical body that sometimes it feels like you could check out of your head or you could fly out. So just invite your energy to stay in, give it a density or a heaviness so that your energy feels weighted down, pulled down into your hips. There you go. And then pulled all the way down to your feet. Yeah, good. And then keep that density feeling in your hips. There, that feels a little more balanced. Yeah, so notice we're just sitting here. We're not doing anything. We're just feeling you. And notice this feeling compared to, let's just imagine it's Monday morning and you're headed to school or work or running your children or whatever it is you normally would do on a Monday morning. From this place of being in your hips, grounded here in this moment, imagine you can look at that version of you that tomorrow is going to get up and go and run and be and do. And see if you can feel the difference between who you are in this moment and what you see yourself as tomorrow morning. And then imagine you can just visualize that this you right here could reach his or her hand out and just gently touch the you that's going to be running tomorrow morning on the shoulder. And just calm down. No, it's not the right words. Slow down, perhaps. Bring more presence. There you go. Bring more presence to that version of you that's going to start off the new week tomorrow. Yeah, the thing I notice the most is slowing down. You know, many of us on Monday morning, there's this feeling of when you watch a horse race and they're lined up at the gates and then the gates open and it's like a flat-out run. The horses are just charging forward. Monday mornings tend to feel that way in our house. Go, everyone. Run. Tag team. So perhaps Monday morning slow down might be something that would serve you or your family or your partner. And that can be as simple as, even though you may hate it, setting your alarm 10 minutes earlier and then just slowly getting out of bed. You know, sitting on the couch for 2 minutes and feeling what your day is going to be like. Yeah, if you have a busy day today, that might even be what you could do in this moment. Can I feel myself here in this body, deeply anchored in my hips, feeling the density of physical and energy combined? Can I bring that presence to all of the activities I'm going to do the rest of today? Yeah, I can hear the question like, why does it even matter? We're still going to get everything done. Why does it matter if I'm present or running or racing? What I would say is, I don't know how to simplify this more, but the present moment is all you have. It's all you have. Like, being here, being fully in this moment is the only real moment in your day. Everything else is what you're projecting forward or what you're looking back on later that you didn't do right. Enjoying, finding the pleasure in right here and now, that's the key to everything. That's the secret to life. It's being so present and being so full of love and life and enjoyment in this present moment, that becomes enough. And then, life is just a series of present moments. And when you're enjoying this moment right here, so go ahead and feel that. Here you are in your body, hips heavy, density, feeling it right here. And see if you can find a pleasurable spot somewhere in your body, something that feels good. If it's like me, it might be your heart space. It might be that your shoulders or your back or your jaw feels really relaxed and good. Imagine you can just expand how good that good place feels. Let it get a little bigger, a little brighter. Allow yourself to feel satisfied. Right here, there is nothing else I need to be guiding you through. There is nothing else you need to be doing. This moment right here is absolutely beautiful and perfect. Yeah, so as you feel that, know or understand or guess, whatever feels right to you, that 5 minutes from now, you are not going to regret this moment because this moment feels so good. There's nothing you need to change. Right now feels awesome. Your body feels happy. You're present. There's nothing that's pulling at you. You're just right here, and it's good. It's enough. As you practice presence, this feeling of satisfaction, of contentment, it's how you feel almost all the time. And so there's no regretting or looking back on or wishing or judging or evaluating. You're here and it feels great and you're making the best choice in this moment. And when this one's done, you know there's going to be another and you're going to make the best choice in that moment. And so it just becomes a series of moments that are full and happy and joyful. So that is why I suggest slowing down, because being here and right now feels so good. It feels so good. And yes, there are things that came up, and yes, you'll look at them later, and yes, they'll all get done. But right here and now, what if you can just surrender into being absolutely content? You created this. You showed up. You have this time for yourself. Good work. Good work. I just want to validate, too, that I was struggling in my own meditation earlier. I'm like, why can't I see what this call is going to be about? I have 2 words on my paper. What are we even going to talk about? I don't understand. And I was listening to a song right before we started. It's called Ma by Guru Ganesha Band. It's such a beautiful song, and all it is the word Ma. The sound, there's not even anything significant that happens in it, but I was just feeling so content, so inspired, with no plan or agenda for our call. And now I get it. I get it. Sometimes it's better to not have it all mapped out. It's better to just drop in and be here. Good. So feel your body, and then maybe guess, am I 80% present? Am I 100% present? See if you can sense or feel sort of not a judgment or an evaluation, but just an awareness, so you can see, is there more of me that still wants to come back? If you're at 80 or less, no judgment, but just go, oh, great. Okay, good. There's more of me that I can pull back. The density of my hips is going to become magnetic, and it can pull into my body all the other places where my energy has been hiding out or taking care of other people. Just for right now, I'm pulling it 100% back into this moment, this body. And if you're already almost all the way full, or as full as you want to be in this moment, go ahead and just let everything relax again. Good, and let's bring our attention to your feet.
So feel your feet, whether they're firmly flat on the floor and you're sitting, or if you're laying down, you've got your heels against the floor, your ankles. Go ahead and imagine from the bottoms of your feet that you can start to root in, connect in with this earth that we inhabit. And it can look whatever way feels right to you, but you just imagine some sort of energetic connection that takes your fullness, your feeling of being here, and then allows you to connect into the fullness of the earth, of the planet. I know sometimes it feels like the connection is just the right size. You know, I'm equal to the size of the planet, and so I have roots, and I go right into the earth, and it feels like everything's balanced. And then, like in this moment, I can feel, I feel tiny compared to the earth. The earth feels so big to me today. I don't know if it's because of the full moon and the moon seemed so big, but if you could imagine, you are one of the souls, the human bodies that the earth is supporting in this lifetime that you're leading. So there's an unwritten agreement between you and this planet that is hosting you. And often we forget that, or we get arrogant, like I often do. And I think, I don't need to be grounded or rooted. I'm totally good. I got it all figured out. Everything's going great. And then something will happen and I'm flat on my back, or sitting in meditation going, oh, why do I do this? It's so much easier to be supported and held by the earth because there's such power under the surface of the earth. So imagine you can connect in whatever way feels good to you, roots, beams of light, cords. Go ahead and feel from the bottoms of your feet that there's a weaving happening from you down through the surface of whatever is underneath you, until you feel like your roots have connected with dirt. And if you've ever purchased potted plants or something that needs to be taken out of a pot and put into the ground, when the roots don't have enough space in a pot, they start to wind around themselves and get really congested, and then eventually the roots strangle the plant because there isn't enough dirt or space for them to stretch out. Visualize as you root into the earth, you have the entire circumference of the earth to spread out your roots. You have so much space. Mainly because most people never visualize this. So no one's doing it. You have all this room. You have all this room. So feel your roots going down and then going sideways. And then down some more. And sideways some more. And they go out in all directions. And what you might notice, this is how I always feel it, when I visualize the roots going down, there's an instant tightening in my first and second and third chakras, the lower half of my body, so from my hip bone, from my vagina all the way up to under my belly button, right? It's that whole lower half of your body. There's a tightening that happens internally that knows you're connecting in with the mother, with the earth. And so for me, it gets like there's a contraction, there's a pulling down that I feel. So notice whatever is coming up in you as your roots go deeper, as you partner now with the earth, as you stretch your roots out wider and deeper. Notice the physical sensations that are matched in your physical body. And sometimes that makes us want to run. I don't want to be stuck here. I don't want to be in one place. I don't want to be connected. So honor that. If what you feel is like it's too much, then just relax your body, pause what's happening with the roots. let your body feel safe again. If you're the opposite and you're craving more, like, whoa, this feels so good to be held and met and supported by the earth, I want more, I want deeper, allow your roots to go even further down and wide so that you're creating a network, a grid, a web underneath your physical body. Yeah, so why? Why would we do this? There's so many reasons. The main one is, for me, when I get ungrounded, my mind gets really busy. And that's when I start worrying and analyzing and trying to control and trying to make things happen. So all this energy that wants to be supported can't feel the support underneath my feet, and so it goes up like a hot air balloon. And all that energy and activity swirls around in my brain. And that I found hardly ever serves me because it's distracting and it's my ego and it's the part of me that wants to judge and evaluate and analyze. When I focus on grounding, that powerful energy that wants to do something is taken down through my body. So every one of my chakras gets activated. And then it goes all the way down to my feet so that my physical form is wide awake, empowered, feeling strong. And then it goes down into the earth where it's met with more energy. When I ground and I connect in and I feel the earth supporting me, there's this buzz of life force. It feels like I'm rejuvenated. And it's also very clear how energy is moving through me. It's clear what my next steps are. My mind isn't as engaged in activity as my physical body and my energy chakras. So there's a surge. It's like a power grid. You know, when you've seen someone in fantasy movies, you know, all the Superman ones, usually somebody somewhere gets electrocuted by some sort of power grid. It's that buzz, and because they're above the ground, it fries them. If you can visualize that energy is natural, it's from the earth, it's oxygen, and that's not even the right word. It's growth. You know, the earth doesn't want to fry us. The earth wants to grow us, to support us. Just like a tree, you know, the earth isn't electrocuting a tree. The earth is nourishing the tree so it can get taller and stretch out and provide more shade and create new oxygen for our planet. You know, there's this weaving and growth that the earth supports. And as someone who has chosen to inhabit this earth, we have the same right to partner, just like any of the animals or elements of nature receive from the earth. So it's just a remembering to check back in. All right, feel your roots go as deep as they want to in this moment. If you want a really cool play for a second, you can imagine that your roots can go all the way down to the core of the earth. If you can visualize, the core of the earth has a hook right in the center of it. And your roots already know that there is a way that they can go all the way down to the center of the earth, hook through the core, and then come right back up. And then energize your physical body. So imagine that energy, once you're hooked into the core of the earth can send you like the surge of support, of power, of alignment, of steadiness, balance. And then it's just a physical remembering at your feet, allowing that energy can come in your feet and start to run up your body and give you a new surge of growth. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. So you can run that all the way up your feet, up your body, out your arms, all the way into your head. It's a completely different pathway of energy than the sideways loop that we get into in our minds that wants to spiral down like a bathtub draining. This is a filling up that comes from the center of the earth into your physical body, an overflowing. Good. And then again, let your body relax. Tune back into your breath. Good. All of these are ways I want to show you to play with energy. They're great now on this call, but also they're quick tips or practices that you can do throughout the week. So when you feel your energy is low, or you've been giving to people over and over all day long or for several days in a row, or you've overcommitted, and so your body and your energy system feel tired and depleted, this image of bringing your attention to your feet, sending a root all the way down to the center of the earth, and then allowing earth energy to come up that root and flood your body. It's a way to so quickly shift your own energy level, to fill yourself up and not run out of steam. And so these are just tools to play with, not just on this call, but throughout the week. I'm saying that several times so it'll stick in your mind. So one day this week when you're absolutely exhausted and you're ready to scream and yell at everyone around you, you can pause and you can do this exercise and see how quickly it shifts your vibration. Good. Good work. Okay, loosen the stomach muscles. So if you've been feeling that pull of gravity down, go ahead and just lean back in your chair or lean back on the floor again and let everything just unwind. You'll still be connected. Okay, so we're going to use the image of the full moon as a way to connect with Source. So this might sound funny, but I believe Source is like the sun in terms of the power and intensity and depth of energy. Even that is limited, but just to sort of put it in perspective. So the moon reflects the sun's light, which is why it, pours such light over our planet. So if you can imagine looking at the moon, because it's easier to look at than the sun, if you can imagine looking at the moon and then knowing it's reflecting the light of the sun. So feel how Source then, if we're following this imagery, Source is seen in the moon. Yeah, I hope that makes sense to you. So as we imagine connecting with Source, you can visualize this beautiful super full moon that we had last night, and how the moon just soaked up so much light from the sun that it could just beam so brightly in the dark sky last night. Yeah, and then just imagine, what if you could see Source in the moon? So maybe, I don't know, maybe you see a face, maybe you see a spotlight, maybe you just sense a vibration or an energy of Source. So what I'm picturing as I imagine our connection to Source today is like Source illuminating a pathway for us. Source showing us the way, not dictating, but providing light, providing information, providing clarity, so that we can identify for ourselves which way we want to go next. When we were driving last night, we ran out after dinner to get some ice cream, which we don't do very often, but it was the perfect night for it. And the road that we were driving down, as we were eating our ice cream cones, the moon was literally in the sky, in the center of the road as we looked we're driving down the road and we're looking up, and the moon is literally right there in the center of the street, up high in the sky. And it was so bright, brighter than any of the street lights around us. And so it was just, to me, the symbol of, you're going the right way. This way, go this way. I'm showing you which direction to go. Trust me. Follow this path. So if you can imagine that image, here's your week, here's your day today, here's your week in front of you. You have all of these moments that you get to create. Choiceful moments of how you feel, what you're doing with your time, who you're engaging with, where your creative energy is being used. What if in this moment right now, Source, through the illumination of the sky, of the moon, can light the way for you and give you some clues of what is in your highest purpose. Yeah, so if you feel like you're checking out, come back into your body. Feel the density of your hips again. Bring your energy down and in. Good. And then see the moon in front of your path. And then allow yourself to sense or feel a word, a name, an idea, a thought. Right? Allow Source to whisper into your ear, or blow an idea right into your mind, or breathe a word right into your throat. Maybe reach down and shine the spotlight right on your heart, and you just know or sense, oh yeah, like this. This is what Source would have me know in this moment. Feel yourself in your hips solidly here. Good. Yeah, and what I would offer is, that is the clearest guidance you could be asking for. As we look at the full moon and illuminating and truth and love, clearly knowing that your path is guided, trusting that what Source is showing you or trying to help you sense is the highest next step you could take for your soul. So if you received some sort of knowing or feeling, act on it. Let that be the first thing you do when we're done on the call, or the first thing you do on Monday morning. If you just felt like this sense of calm or peace, trust that. Trust that that's exactly what Source wants you to know in this moment. You're good. You're good. You're exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you need to be doing, and just keep moving forward. Keep trusting the way that your path is being illuminated. If you're frustrated and you're like, I didn't hear or feel anything, well, maybe the answer to that is sit more, be still more, tune in, allow a connection to become clearer. If your brain is busy and doing the sideways round and round loop, maybe your message is to focus on bringing energy down to your feet more often, so that your brain gets quieter and your heart can guide you more. Your connection to the earth can let you feel safe, so you can open up your awareness. Good. Oh. That was a lot already. All right, there was one more thing that I was sensing today in my meditation. So going with this theme of illumination, of awareness and quietly tuning in. I had this visual of when you go to the eye doctor and they're checking, I believe it's your retina, I'd have to look, but they put that light on right in front of you, so the room gets dark, and then the doctor sits right in front of you with his or her face on the chin rest and your face on the chin rest and your eyes stretched open, and then they shine that light and it goes right in the center of, I believe, your retina. And then they can go behind the eyeball. They can see into the deepest parts of your eye to make sure that there's no nerve damage or any concerns that they should be looking at by perhaps getting your eye dilated. And I've always been fascinated by this idea that there is a way to see behind the lens, to go deeper in. And so what I'd like to do for the remainder of our time is follow that imagery. So if you can imagine, feel yourself here in your body. Feel the density of your hips solidly present, feet on the floor connected to the earth. And I believe eyes are the gateway to the soul, the seat of the soul, the connection to our consciousness. So if you can imagine as you sit here that perhaps Source can sit across from you and shine that light just like the moon, shine that light right into your eye, to behind the eyeball, behind what we see here in this 3D world. And you may get this right away. You may go unconscious for a few minutes because you're not ready. Either way is fine. You can come back to this anytime. But if you can imagine as that light from Source shines behind the eyeball, all the way into the back of your eye, Source can show you or illuminate for you your consciousness, your higher self, the version of you that just sits and observes and supports and watches everything that your human body in this life is doing. Yeah, so you may see some sort of image. For me, my higher self always looks like a female. I don't know if there is a female or male version of us. I believe they're kind of a neutral energy, but I always see a female, and usually she looks a little bit like me in this lifetime, but more spiritual, much more together. See if you can find some sort of form that you can give to that higher self version of you. He or she is the one that has traveled through every lifetime and will be there to greet you when you die, or will be you when you die. She's the version of you that decided to come here and play in this body in this lifetime. Yeah, and you can just imagine, if you want, that for just a few moments, that higher self is going to follow the pathway that Source is showing, the illumination, and come from behind the scenes. Just sort of glide, he or she glides through that pathway until he or she is like right in front of you, sitting next to the moon, sitting right by Source, looking at you. Yeah, what do you notice? What do you notice? You might want to allow her to, I'll say her, but I hope you know I mean her or him. Allow that version of you to take on more form. So maybe he or she sort of stands up and stretches out or turns around, shows you like the energy, the physical and spiritual combination of you. Sometimes when I've done this, my higher self looks like an adventurer, like a character from way back that would have on her cream khaki hat and khaki shorts, and she's ready to go into the jungle. So no judgment, just notice, like, what would your higher self be trying to show you with the form that he or she is taking? And why would he or she be showing you that? Is there something for you to learn from that image? Perhaps some form of encouragement to do something differently or be more than what you are allowing yourself in this moment to be. And then imagine your higher self can sit down right across from you, cross-legged or swinging his or her legs from wherever she or he is hanging out with sores. Yeah, and I'm going to give you a minute or two to just hear or sense anything that version of you would like to say in this moment. It's going to be unique for each person. So just trust. It might be a word, an image, a sense, a knowing. Whatever way you're being communicated with from that version of you, just trust it. Allow it to come into your heart and talk to you. Sink deeper into your hips. Let yourself be fully here so you can hear whatever it is they're saying. Okay. Good work. Good work. And perhaps ask your higher self, as I look at this day or this week in front of me, is there a mantra, is there a phrase, is there a sound that can guide me when I feel stuck or when I feel like I'm in my mind again? Is there something that he or she can show you or a sound they can give you? A phrase, perhaps. Yeah, and then write that down when we're done with the call. Write that down. If what you heard was the melody of a song or the lyrics to a song, go get the song, listen to it, play it this week. Let it guide you. For me, it's clearly this song Ma by the band, the Guru Ganesha band. You can look it up. It's one syllable, right? Ma. But there's something so soothing about it. So trust whatever it is that he or she showed you. And then again, it's the same thing as Source. When you receive some sort of guidance, follow it, act on it. Because as you do that, you build up this cycle of trust with your soul, with your energy system that says, oh, we were listened to before, so now we can send more. And as we're listened to that time, then we can send more. And then soon it just becomes this flowing stream of information and action and information and action, and you just become really guided, really clearly in alignment with and flowing with your highest version of yourself. Okay, so thank that version of you that came out to provide guidance. You can send love, you can bow, honor, whatever feels right. In yoga, we always end with our hands in prayer pose and we lean forward and we go Sat Nam, right? Which is such a reverence, a way of honoring. And then you can invite your higher self to go straight back through that pathway of light, all the way back into the recesses of your eyes. You might want to sigh or breathe or blink a few times, swallow, whatever feels right. Go ahead and bring yourself all the way back into your body. Stretch and wiggle a little bit. Let yourself start to wake up, start to come back. If you checked out for part of that, no worries. It'll be recorded. You can come back to it whenever you want and listen again. All right, and then one more sweep of energy. So from the top of your head, run anything that's ready to move out all the way down to your feet. And then just choose to let it go. Send it down into the earth. And then feel those roots as they send the toxic or heavy energy down and out. They can reverse the direction and purified energy starts to come back up your feet. So through those roots to the bottoms of your feet. And then pure energy runs all the way up your legs, washes through your body, comes all the way up out of your crown chakra, and then just spouts out the top and around the outside of your body, just rinsing you through. Good. Good work for not having an agenda. That was absolutely perfect. All right. So much love from me to you. Have an absolutely amazing day. And, be guided. Be guided. So much love.